Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Heal with Grace podcast. I'm your host, Grace. And first and foremost, if you cannot hear already, it's a little mild today, but I'm getting over a very long cold. Who gets a cold in the summer? I do. And actually, when I say that, I kind of want to stop for a second because it kind of feels like I'm identifying with that, right? Like, oh, of course I get sick in the summer. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've gotten sick a lot in my life. So it's not super surprising. And I was traveling. So that used to be a history of mine where I would travel a lot and I used to be completely fine. And then for a while started getting really sick whenever I traveled. It was literally my body's response would just shut down. And I've worked with that a lot. And it happened again, whether that was like a true response or I mean, people get sick when they travel, right? But anyway, for me, that is where it just is where I am right now. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then also, this is a little bit of inspiration for today's episode because I'm going to talk about what everyone wants me to talk about, but I haven't really so far. Is morning routine. Everyone always asks me, like, what's the morning routine that you do? Like, what should I be doing to help regulate my nervous system and calm down my brain's response? And to be honest, I've always been hesitant because I don't like a lot of prescription for people because everyone's different. And especially for me, although I can be a very routine oriented and sometimes rigid person, I also have a lot of flowiness and flexibility within how I like to do things. So I'll take something on that someone's taught me and I will do it and, quote unquote, do my homework and be the good girl. But then after a while, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I also have this very stubborn part of me that is like, I'm going to not do something just because someone told me to do it. So I know that's a little conflicting, but long story short, I think it's been so valuable for me to learn how to create my own skills and tools and sense of safety in my routine that works for me, not for anyone else. Because again, all of our nervous systems are different. We need different things at different times. And so that is why I have not created this yet. At the same time, I will calm down that part of me and really recognize that I have learned my things from other people who've told me, right? So, like, I really just want you to take this on as guidelines, as tools, as things to try, and then integrate it into what feels good for you. So, let's see. Yeah, really, what I've learned so much around I'm on day 9 of this, and so annoying. I might actually pause here in a minute to take care of myself, blow my nose, all the things. You know how I talk about on here to really meet yourself where you are with compassion and with love, and that you can't just change everything in the moment. And so, really, our response to our physical body is the most important piece of this. Well, I have taken a dose of my own medicine. It takes me a minute to get there. It takes me like a day or two to really settle into that and be like, okay, I'm here. All right, body. I will take care of you. I love you. I'm here for you. But those first day or two, I am like, fuck this. I don't want it to happen. Why am I sick? I'm ruining my trip. I'm not going to be able to work. Everything's going to go to shit, blah, 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 and go down the whole freaking rabbit hole. I'm human. It happens. I've gotten so much better at that. Sometimes it doesn't actually even happen. This time the spiral happened because I was just disappointed. Like truly, I was just disappointed of feeling bad on a trip. So at the end of the day, all of this of what I'm talking about, not only about getting sick, but also about having a routine is the way you approach it. The way you approach it, right? With a sense of intuitiveness, checking in with yourself. Does this fit you? Not just because someone told you to do it, but does it work for you and for your body? That's what I really want you to listen to when you try these things. Okay, so let's jump in. First and foremost, in the mornings, no screen, no phone. Don't turn over and check it. I mean, okay, if you have to, if you're a parent, if there's something that you need to check really quickly, do it. If you very much have to, but I highly recommend do not disturb all the way through this routine that I'm about to talk to you about. Okay? It will change your life if you do that. Please, 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 please. Since I started doing it, now if I even, I mean, I never do, but if there's by some random chance that I get on my phone in the morning, I feel it. It feels icky. I feel like very disoriented and like I'm up in my head and I'm just like, blah, 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 like I'm just not able to be in my body. So, no phones, no screens. Do what you need to do. If you have kids, take care of the kids. If you have pets, take care of the pets. Do things around the house just for a little bit. Like, obviously, do what you need to do. Nourish yourself, hygiene, all of those things. If you do have kids, it'd be great if you could get up ahead of time or after, whenever. But my point being, if you can give yourself some time, especially when you're working through chronic symptoms, setting yourself up for the day can be really important and really helpful and grounding for your nervous system, because really what we're helping you do is expand your window of tolerance for stimuli, for environmental factors, for a lot of things that happen throughout the day. And the way that we can expand your window of tolerance is first, we have to help yourself connect to your body and ground within yourself. So I think of it as like this vessel. If you're watching me on YouTube, you'll see it. But essentially, this vessel from the top of your head, and it kind of goes all the way down your body. And we're expanding that vessel to be this place of holding, of grounding, of wisdom, of strength within your body, within your nervous system. And we need time and space to connect to that and build it and strengthen it. So that is the importance of a morning routine. Also, your brainwave states are at a place in the morning, right when you get up, that are a little more, you could say, vulnerable, if you will, but it's in that place. It's not super unconscious, but it's not super conscious yet. And so it's a great place to help change some of those pattern neural networks that we're trying to change when we're regulating your nervous system. That's why, excuse me. Okay, just had to cough for a second. That is why morning and evening routines are just out there all the time. It is really helpful. It is. I don't mean you need to have some 3-hour morning routine. If you have the time and space, 1000%. Great, great, do it. But it is important. Please do not just roll out of bed and click your computer or whatever. You need the stability in your nervous system to expand your tolerance levels throughout the day. So, after you've done all the things like nourishment, no phone, whatever you need to do for yourself, if you can be outside, that'd be awesome. If not, it's really not a big deal. So, find a place where you're comfortable. And I'm going to walk you through 4 different things to do. And I'm going to walk you through them in this order, but this is where you can pick and choose for yourself. You can move around these. So, for example, you'll see it. First and foremost, this is really helpful at the beginning. Just ground and arrive in your body, seated or lying down, feet or back on the floor, hand over your heart, hand over your belly, taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. This signals safety, initiates presence, and begins nervous system downshift. So we're just tuning in to you, taking some breaths, closing the eyes, placing your hands on your body, and take 5 to 10 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, just to gently check in. Just gets you a little bit more settled in your body. Some type of somatic movement or nervous system regulation can be helpful to not only open up the body, but also help you tune into yourself. So, this is something you can do before or after you're checking in with journaling. That is really up to you. I flip flop it somewhat often. But I'm going to go through it this way first. If you start with opening the body, it can help you kind of understand maybe what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your body, what are your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts that maybe you need to work with this morning. And I'll explain that in a minute. But first, when it comes to somatic movement, we're talking about gentle neck rolls and shoulder circles, seated cat cow, opening up the chest and the body. You can do some tapping along your head, all the way down your body. And if you're listening to this and not watching the video, You can find different practices that I have on my Instagram page. If you're in the mind body healing method, you can find these practices in the somatic module. I would open up with maybe some spinal twists to get some movement in the body. This is where intuitive movement comes in handy. Move your body in circles, stretch your legs, just do some gentle stretches, whatever comfortability you have in your body's movement right now. Meet yourself where you are. It can be really helpful to use your voice, some vagal tone, vagal nerve release, some humming or sighing, maybe some voo, like voo, or just some humming to a nice song. We've also learned this one before in terms of fascia movement. So gently, really gently, but somewhat in a way that squeezes your arms all the way down to your wrists and your hands very slowly. But give it a squeeze, open up the fascia in your body. This doesn't need to be more than 5 minutes. It's just to help you get into your body. It could be as long as you would like. The next thing that I'm going to talk you through is parts work in journaling. So, I have a podcast episode on journaling, emotions focused journaling, and a lot of this comes from Nicole Sachs' Journal Speak. Now, if you're working through chronic symptoms, I cannot recommend it enough. It is the deep emotional piece that I think a lot of people are missing from their healing. And it's really important to do it every day. And the whole point of this, again, I'll link the episode below, so please go back and listen to it. I'll also link Nicole Sachs' Journal Speak below as well. And the whole point is to really feel into what you're noticing. Maybe you have an activation or trigger coming up in your life right now. Maybe you're frustrated by something, you're upset by something. Maybe you're not. And actually, that's okay because you need to go back and write and figure out how to tune in to the repressed emotions you have in your body. When I say figure out, I really mean writing about it, feeling it, understanding it. This is your space to write about anything you've ever wanted to say or not even realize you wanted to say or feel. This is your space to do it. Take 20 minutes in the morning to journal. Now, journal speak doesn't have to be in the morning. So if you're not the person if you're someone that's like, okay, I cannot just get to that place early in the morning, that's okay. Do it at a different part of the day. And maybe this journal practice is checking in with yourself. What part of me is active this morning? Am I tired or anxious or hopeful or angry or scared? What does this part need from me today? That's what I want you to start to tune into. What emotion is asking to be seen today? By the way, all these questions can be prompts for your journal practice in the morning. Maybe you ask yourself, what would I say to the part of me that's struggling? Or what truth do I need to speak for myself this morning? Maybe you ask, if my body could speak, what would it say right now? No censoring. Write free form and let it be messy if needed. This brings the unconscious patterns forward and allows emotional release without any hesitation or fear that someone's going to hear you or someone's going to judge you for it. Truly let it out and tune into what's present. Now, something that I usually suggest after you do this is turning the page and writing out some belief systems that you're wanting to shift in your neural network. So, if you have noticed a pattern of not feeling good enough, or you're noticing a pattern of people pleasing, or you're noticing a pattern of fear, so much fear and anxiety, what are the antidotes to those that you want to start instilling in yourself? Maybe it's truly just, I meet myself with kindness today. Maybe it's, I am worthy of so much peace in my body. I am worthy of health. I am worthy of love. I deserve space and time and presence and to truly enjoy my life. I am smart and good enough. I am worthy of love and to be seen. Whatever it is, I would just start writing, line after line, write these out so that this is kind of part of Nicole Sachs talks about having a compassion practice after journal speak. This could be part of it. This ends up being just part of my journaling. And I have another practice I do after, but at the same time, writing out the belief systems that you're trying to continue to instill in your body is really important when you start off the day. What are the beliefs that you want to hold for the rest of the day? How do you want to feel for your day today. Write those out, embody those feelings. If you're like, I don't know what the hell that means, think of a time where you have felt this way. Maybe you have felt some love from someone or a pet. Close your eyes, see if you can bring that feeling up in your body, even if it's a tiny hint. It doesn't need to be some overwhelming, huge feeling, but some sort of hint that you have that availability within you. And you do. You 100% have that availability in your body. So when you are in this space, in this journaling space, let it be a practice. It's not going to be perfect. It might feel messy. It might feel like you don't even know what to write about, but that's completely okay. You can do that. You can skip around, and that's just part of it. Journaling, be uncomfortable. You're not going to want to do it. Believe me, I am first and foremost someone to tell you, I've never been that person that's like, oh, I have to journal all the time, or I want to journal all the time. It has often been something that I have forced myself to do because I know it's helpful. And it is a practice. There's so many times where I sit down, I'm like, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. I don't want to do this. But it is a way to connect to yourself. Now, you don't have to write, you could type, you could voice note it. Just let yourself have a practice of connection. It could be a long meditation that you're listening to and you feel a lot because you're guided to. I would be a little cautious of that. Meditation is wonderful, and I suggest it after journaling to come to a state of presence with yourself. And again, if you're someone who's like, I don't meditate, I don't know how to do that, I can't sit still. Yes, you can. You can. I know that you can because you're going to start with 1 minute. You're going to start with 1 minute of breathing and pausing. I highly suggest something guided. I have a lot of guided practices. I have some throughout the podcast. You can find a million on YouTube, on any kind of meditation app. But it is a very important part of this process. So after you journal, you're going to close it. You're going to set some sort of intention for your meditation, and that could be just tuning into your breath, doing a somatic tracking with your body. That could be a compassionate presence meditation. You could do a walking meditation. Listen to a walking meditation as you go outside, because one of my next things that I would like for you to add in your morning routine is to get some sort of outside time. We are not meant to be inside all the time. As humans, living beings, we are inside so much more, way, 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 way more than our bodies are really meant to be. Now, that's not supposed to put any kind of shame or guilt on you if you sit inside all day, because everyone has to work. And if that's you and you work inside, that's what it is, what it is. But that's why before you work, highly suggest getting outside, going for a short walk, getting some sun on the skin, grounding into the earth, into nature. It's one of the most helpful things to regulate your nervous system. Ground, breathe, connect to the earth. So I'm going to wrap all of that up. First and foremost, morning routine. No phone. Do what you need to do. Nourish yourself, get some food, take care of what you need to do. Arrive in your space where you feel comfortable and safe. Close the door. Make sure you have a safe space. That could be on a patio. That could be in a room. It could be in well, I was going to say closet, but I want you to move. I don't think a closet is the best place for you, but make it really important that you have a space like that you can have to yourself for this time, so that you're not worried about someone coming in and watching you or bugging you or whatever. Make sure it's your space. Ground and arrive in your body. Take some deep breaths, check in with yourself, just allow yourself to arrive to where you are. Notice what's coming up. And then you can either start with journaling, or you could start with some kind of somatic movement to get into your body and into the present moment. You could use some vagus nerve activation tools. You can do a gentle yoga, spinal twist, stretching. You can do some tapping on your body. You could do some qigong or tai chi, something to help you be in yourself and know what's going on with you, some fascia movement, something along those lines. And then again, this could go before or after journaling, but then I want you to journal. Check in with yourself. Go or scroll back into this episode and list out the prompts that I just had. Listen to Nicole Sachs' Journal Speak and start a journal speak practice, or truly just check in with yourself today. and then really look at the belief systems that you are wanting to bring in. So I actually have people that write lists of the beliefs that they want to bring in, remind themselves of every single day. How do they want to be on a day-to-day basis? How do they want to feel? What do they want to see in their life? What kind of relationships do they want to have? Keep orienting yourself to these beliefs, these feelings, these emotions, and to have a list on your phone, on your computer, in your journal, whatever it is, just so you could read them every day or you could write them every day. Highly, highly suggest that. Then, last but not least, get outside. Be outside for some part of this process, whether that is your walking meditation, whether that is walking as your somatic practice to get into your body before you journal. Be outside for a little bit. I get it if some days it's really crappy, but even if it is, it can still be really beautiful to be outside, whether it's snowing or raining, depending on how hard. And at some point during this, too, probably after journaling, some sort of meditation practice to ground you into your body, using your breath, using your heart centered space and awareness and compassion, and really allowing yourself to be, to comfort, and to care for you. Start, if you are new to meditation, start for just a minute to 5 minutes and go from there. I know that you can. The fact that you don't want to and your body is really anxious and doesn't want to let you do that is actually the reason that you need it. A lot of what I do and what I teach is based in some sort of mindfulness or meditative practice, some sort of connection to ourselves, into the present, into nature, because it is so invaluable. I cannot tell you how much it's changed my life and other people around me. So, there's a couple adaptations that I want to add in here. If you feel like you're really low energy, maybe you're working through a chronic fatigue crash or something like that, maybe skip the movement and extend your breath and journaling. If you're really overwhelmed or disassociated, maybe you focus only on the grounding and the breath and the meditation. If you're in any kind of pain or heightened symptoms, modify it to suit your needs, but I really would not skip things like journal speak or checking in with yourself. All right. Thank you for listening. I hope that this has helped you. And please let me know if you have any questions. And thank you for listening, even when I sound stuffy. And you know what? We're showing up anyway. We are showing up anyway in our life, and we're telling our body, you cannot take us over anymore. That's what I'm working on. I am working on showing up in my life regardless of how I'm feeling. And that doesn't sound like a push. I'm not trying to like push, push, push. It's more of I'm meeting myself and allowing myself to be however I am and that be okay. All right. Keep doing the work, keep healing with grace, and I'll see you next time.